It was the right thing to do.
Who are you?
A scientist, like yourself.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay where you are.
The 50s. Everything we did on wheels. And with more and more cars on the road, we began to wonder if all traffic would someday come to a dead stop in massive gridlock, coast to coast.
We gotta slow down, so much traffic cuts the flow down till they bring the highways up to date. You can bet your high compression we're gonna be late.
The open road was closing down, and no amount of horsepower was going to get us home in time to watch Howdy Doody with the kids.
Will you stop honking, Mac? We ain't going nowhere. No wonder everybody's acting so nervous. What's a citizen gonna do? What can a citizen do?
The answer was to build more highways, and lots of them. We paved enough new road to circle the earth 10 times. A lot of this asphalt was paid for by something called the Interstate Highway Act. Superhighways were promoted as a way to move tanks and trucks in case of invasion by the Russians. But the real winner was the American driver.
It'll be possible to drive from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean without a single stoplight or stop sign.
With a price tag of $186 billion, it was the most money we'd ever committed to anything other than war.
You probably never had as powerful a lobby for anything in American life as you had for that, because you had not only the automakers, you had the unions, you had not only the construction companies, but you had the construction unions, you had the oil and gas lobby. I mean, everybody was for it.
Highways looped and merged and cloverleafed their way across America. On-ramps, off-ramps, changing how we lived and where we could live.
Today, a remarkable construction project is transforming the face of the countryside.
A developer named Bill Levitt had flattened a potato field to grow a new kind of crop. Assembly line housing in look-alike neighborhoods, where even the building contractors got lost.
I think what Levitt did makes them as important a figure in our society as Henry Ford. Mass-produced housing. 18 in the morning, 18 in the afternoon. I believe it's 180 a week. There were 27 different teams. There was a team for windows, a team for slab, a team for the doors, team for the bathrooms. I mean, like clockwork.
Another day, another 40 houses.
Soon, ranch and split-level homes began springing up all over the country, almost as fast as the crabgrass that surrounded them. A young couple could buy a new house for well under $10,000. And for returning GIs, Uncle Sam would co-sign the loan. The baby boom was born here, in a world of barbecue sets and picture windows.
You were king of your castle, and you had your own coach. You didn't have a neighbor next door who was making noise, or above you or below you. This was paradise, American style. I mean, it was the great dream of the 1950s, and I think a lot of people believed it and lived it.
The suburbs were unthinkable without at least one car. if not two.
It sure is good of you to offer to take me to the store. I don't know what we would have for supper tonight if you hadn't.
Well, I know how it is.
Back when a husband's salary could support an entire family, most women stayed home with their children. And automobile companies spent big money reassuring everyone that women could handle 150 horses and still be 50s feminine.
You know, there are a lot of housewives who really give the family Dodge a workout. Day in, day out. Watch me, for instance. Our Dodge is a taxi. See? I take my husband to and from his train every day. Our Dodge is a school bus, too.
Like doing the dishes or folding the laundry, driving became part of running a home. But no matter how many miles she put on the car, the myth continued that women couldn't drive.
No, to the right. You gotta cut to the right. Yeah, she's gonna hit if she doesn't watch out.
What's the matter, lady? Can't you drive that thing?
Well, maybe some people weren't great at parallel parking, but developers would soon make that maneuver a thing of the past.
So what happens is Americans no longer are going down to the central business district, but now they're going to a more convenient place where there's free parking for the automobile.
The malling of America seemed to happen overnight. Malls bigger than Main Street, big as a whole town, hundreds of acres, thousands of cars. So big you could lose your kids, your car, and your mind all in the same afternoon. Businesses began to cater to people who wanted to do business without ever leaving their cars.
The grand heyday of drive-in culture and drive-by culture and drive-through culture was the 1950s. Drive-in banks, drive-in movies, drive-in everything. I mean, the pleasure was to be able to do things in your car.
Every drop of blood was drained out of their bodies. And they had wounds on their throats, like a gigantic leech might make.
What was that?
I don't know. You get in that truck and lock it up.
The Pines Drive-In was carved out of a cornfield about 8 miles west of Oregon, Illinois. Today, the Pines is abandoned. But on the night it opened, back in 1950, owner Chick Lamb remembers the whole town on the road and heading his way.
When we opened on opening night, we had a free movie for anybody that wanted to come. Well, it turned out we not only filled the drive-in, but there was a traffic jam 5 miles to the west of there. Cars were lined up along the pavement waiting to get in. But it was a new thing for people. They had never been to a drive-in. They were very curious on how it worked.
Like most small towns in the 50s, Oregon's drive-in movie theater was the place to be on Saturday night.
I shall make the earth my home, and I shall never, never leave it.
The drive-in culture of America, I think, is symbolized by the drive-in movie, which was a symbol of freedom and sort of really brought automobility together with the movie theater. They were sort of the two great products of American civilization, the cinema and the automobile.
On a typical evening, the box office would open and a parade of cars would start coming in. This would be people in luxury cars, sports cars, station wagons with mattresses in the back, and kids and dogs and cats and coolers, and a rolling living room, bedroom, and kitchen for the family, because they expected to be there till 2 or 3 in the morning for the triple feature. Gradually, as it got closer and closer to dusk, They would begin honking to remind us that, in their opinion, it was dark enough to start a show.